Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, and as most of you guys know, and if you don't, then my channel has mostly been built around, off-season news, off-season coverage, roster building, rumors, speculation about different roster changes, and just overall thinking what roster moves could be cool, could be interesting, could work out well, could work out poorly. I really love covering that stuff. I think that stuff is so fun to talk about, and I know a lot of other people enjoy, the different theory crafting and roster crafting and all that stuff. And today, I wanted to do a little bit of that. My channel has also been notorious for, being some of the first to talk about different ideas, different stories, different moves. We get some flack about, talking about stuff too early, or people being like, it's only June. Why are we talking about this? But we're going to do it again today. We're going to be talking about Spica and what the future maybe has in store for him. But first, a word from today's sponsor, which is, of course, the lovely people over at Prize Picks. Pick over or under on player props to win up to 10x your cash. Big payouts, 24/7 live support, fast and secure withdrawals. This is a really awesome and easy to use website and app that you can get in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store today. Of course, they offer LOL esports games. Some of the picks I'm looking at for tomorrow are both sides of the mid lane matchup in LNG against top esports. I'm going do and be under 4.5 kills in the first two games, and Knight over 7.5 kills in the first two games. If you guys want to make some picks of your own, definitely check out the first link in the description below, where Prize Picks is going to match your first deposit up to $100, which is an awesome deal. Thank you so much to them for supporting me and for giving that great deal to you guys. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, what I want to talk about today is Spica. This is going to be one of the biggest stories in the West coming into this next offseason. Spica is a free agent. He has an expiring contract. There is just one split left on this deal. TSM has gone on record of saying, when I had my interview with Dominic Callis, he said to me, hey, we want Spica to be a part of this. We see a bright future with him. We hope he's going to be a part of this. There is people around TSM saying, hey, yes, we are trying to re-sign Spica. We think, he's obviously a great player, great asset going in the future. People love him because he's great at content. He's great on social media. He's like a nice, funny guy. He's really young, has a really bright future ahead of him. He's also a former MVP, and is just really good on the Rift. He can fit in a lot of different metas. He has a big champion pool. He can play carries. He can play facilitative. He can really do it all. Now, he's maybe a little inconsistent. He went from MVP split to not so great last split. I don't know, was he the 4th, 5th, 6th best jungler in the LCS last split? But now, so far in the summer split of 2022, I really think he's right back to the top. I think he's easily in that top 2 or 3 consideration so far. Yeah, it's just 5 games in. We have a long split to go, but Spica is looking really good, even though TSM's 2 and 3, even though TSM's looking like kind of a middle of the pack team once again. Spica's looking really good. And that's awesome. When you're in a contract split, when you're in a contract year, you want to be playing your best. That's how you're going to get the best offers, the most offers. That's going to be, how you get to go wherever you want to go. And when I start talking about Spica, I really think there's like 4 different ways this could go. And I want to run through all of them and then talk about what I think is going to be the most likely. One, he can obviously stay with TSM. Now, this could be likely because Spica's already on TSM. He's been with TSM. They brought him up. He's a guy who came from TSM Academy all the way up through the system. He's gone to Worlds with them. He's won a championship with them. He's won an MVP with them. TSM's a really big, really popular team. And then you also have the fact that there might not be a lot of other spots for him to go. Spica is a guy who's going to be expensive. He's a big name, a big brand. He's a guy who wants to earn a lot of money. And, are there going to be good spots out there for him to go? Maybe it ends up, even if he wants to leave TSM and, he's not entirely happy here, or he thinks the grass might be greener somewhere else, there might not be opening somewhere else. So he might have to stay with TSM. Obviously, the reasons for him to leave TSM, TSM is definitely not what they once were. TSM is not a perennial powerhouse anymore. They're not a team that's always competing for titles or to go to international tournaments and stuff like that. And I'm sure Spica wants to do stuff like that at this point in his career. I'm sure other teams and, winning titles and all that can add to his legacy, that can build him up, that can do all these things. There is the potential that he wants to, potentially play in the LPL, which would mean leaving TSM. And TSM just kind of drama, weird stuff going on, and maybe that drama and weird stuff going on is worth it, or you can put up for it if the team's really good. But they don't pay top dollar and they're not great, so I could see why Spica would want to leave. I think another option is obviously going to the LPL. I don't know how likely that is. Depending on how good Spica plays in the summer split, if he just absolutely pops off, yeah, maybe he can get some decent LPL offers. But if he plays like he did in the spring, he's going to end up on a bad LPL team. And like, is that really what you want? Yes, the LPL and Chinese teams do have money, but are you going to get more from the LPL than you're going to get from a North American team? I don't know. And then, on TSM, you just finished 9th place in the spring, but you go to the LPL, you're going to be finishing 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 15th, whatever. So I don't see a ton of merit in going to the LPL, at least at this point in Spica's career, until maybe he accomplishes a little bit more and can maybe get to like a mid to upper tier team in the LPL. And who knows if that will even ever happen. I do think 100 Thieves is a potentially interesting option. And maybe one of the only realistic options for him to go to. 100 Thieves is a team with money. They are a team that likes to spend. And they are a team that this coming offseason might be looking for upgrades. They might be looking to make moves. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Closer might be their best player. Why would they change him? I don't really agree Closer is their best player. I think Closer's very inconsistent. I think he's very up and down. I think at his best, he might be the best player in the LCS. But I think the average Closer we see day to day is the 4th or 5th best jungler in the LCS. I just don't think he's that crazy overall. And he's taking up an import slot, and Spica is obviously a resident, and for so many ways that could be valuable to 100 Thieves. Now, obviously, I would not fault 100 Thieves at all if they bring back Closer, but 100 Thieves just lost to Cloud9. There's a very real possibility that 100 Thieves doesn't make it to Worlds this split, and coming into this next offseason, they could be looking to make some moves, and obviously freeing up an import slot by going out and getting Spica and moving on from Closer, even though it might be a little painful, it could help your roster get way better overall, and I would rather take Spica over Closer just 1-to-1 anyway, so I think it would be an upgrade. And I think Spica would go there too. I think it would be good for him in a lot of ways. But finally, what I want to talk about in this video, the most likely landing spot that I think for Spica, and this is something I've been tweeting out for a while now, this is definitely something I'm going to continue to be talking about, is Team Liquid. Team Liquid makes so much sense, and I really do think that right now they are the leader in the clubhouse to obtain Spica this offseason. I really think he is more likely to go to Team Liquid than maybe even than TSM at this point. It's kind of hard for me to say that, and maybe it's a little bit premature. I think TL and TSM are neck and neck. I think they are the two most likely landing spots. I would say TL, TSM, and then 100 Thieves and LPL off the screen. But it's just really, really interesting to me because we actually get to see this weekend, obviously with Team Liquid taking on TSM. And yes, Spica had a very, very good game against Team Liquid, and that is Spica going up against Team Liquid, but also Spica and Santorin, going at it. And Santorin didn't even play bad. Santorin had a fine game, but Spica just looked better than him. And I think this whole split so far, Spica has looked better than Santorin. And Team Liquid, they're the super team in the LCS, whatever. They started out 3-0. They had some of the best game times in the entire world. They were looking so dominant. This week they looked a little shaky. And if they're coming off a 3rd place finish in the spring, if they look a little shaky the rest of summer, if they don't get out of groups at Worlds or something disastrous like that, they're going to be looking to make changes. Now, I think, Bwipo is maybe a really likely candidate to get changed and get swapped out or whatever. But then Santorin's a really likely candidate to get changed and swapped out too because Spica will be available. Spica and Bjergsen obviously have the chemistry, they have the connection, and that does seem to be just an easy, clear upgrade to make. Obviously, money is not an issue at all for Team Liquid. And when you look at some of the stats so far to start the split, and I know people are going to be like, oh, you can't look at stats. It was stats are so stupid. And it's I'm not saying stats are the end all be all. I just think stats are an easy way to, form some storylines, form some narratives, that type of stuff. And I'm not just looking at stats. I'm, passing the eye test. I'm telling you, when I watched the game, Spica has looked to me better than Santorin this year. And in the TL versus TSM game, I think Spica looked better than Santorin, despite the fact that Spica is playing on a worse team, which League of Legends is a team game. You play on a worse team, it's harder to look good. And Spica took that worse team and helped beat Team Liquid. It wasn't a Spica 1v9, and it wasn't Santorin sucking so bad that they lost the game. But when you look at some of the stats so far for this year, yes, we are just 5 games in, but you will see first blood percentage. Santorin only 20% on those first bloods, and Spica's only 40. Not anything crazy, but I'm just saying Santorin is not, getting a first blood every game or anything like that. He's not doing anything super crazy there. Gold differential at 10. Santorin is actually 6th in the league, minus 60. He has a gold deficit at 10 minutes. This is, despite the fact that he's playing on Team Liquid, a team that says they want to play fast-paced, they want to play up-tempo, they want to be going for these, crazy LPL esque early game skirmishes, dives, fights, plays, all that. That obviously hasn't been going so well for Santorin so far. We have XP differential at 10, where Santorin is dead last in the league, 452. I don't know if that's like a mistake or an error or something. That seems a little bit crazy and ridiculous to me. And then CSD at 10, he's minus 10.8. Again, I'm not exactly sure about all that. I can't, remember the game where he was down like what, 5-6 camps at 10 minutes? Like, that's crazy. So maybe there's some mistakes there. But overall, it is crazy. This says he has an 11.5 KDA. It's making me question all these stats, but usually Oracle Elixir is pretty good with the stats. But again, either way, like I was saying, the point being the fact that I think even on my eye test, Spica has looked better than Santorin. And again, pairing up with Bjergsen, TL always looking to upgrade, money not being an issue. I think TL Spica makes so much sense, and I can already see it all playing out. The fact that TL, hey, maybe they're going to win the title, for sure. They're probably going to go to Worlds. They're probably going to end up in a pretty tough group. They're probably going to win like 3 games. They're probably going to lose a tiebreaker or something. It's going to be disappointing, and they're going to be going in the offseason looking for ways to improve. And again, like I said, I could see them upgrading top lane. I could see them upgrading jungle. I could see Spica wanting to leave TSM. I could see it all lining up, all making sense. And it just kind of clicked in my mind when I was watching TL versus TSM, like, hey, this is Spica trying out for this TL spot, and the rest of this summer split is Spica trying out for this TL spot. Like I said, if Spica looks like he did in spring, I don't think 100 Thieves would want him. I don't think TL would take him over Santorin. But TL, them having a chance to get their hands on a young, resident MVP type talent, that's tough. That's tough to pass up on. And those players don't become free agents all the time. So yeah, just kind of putting it out there. Yes, we are only 2 weeks through the LCS season. Yes, it is June. Yes, it's way too early to be talking about any of this stuff. But right now, if I had to throw some money down, I think we might see Team Liquid Spica in 2023. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. If you drop a like if you did enjoy it, I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about, my thought process, or where you guys think Spica is going to end up in 2023. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. Make sure you check out Prize Picks, first link in the description below. Peace.